We Love Fax Machines by Barrie Mahoney. The UK's National Health Service still relies on archaic fax machines, scream the headlines and the daily hate. Oh well, I guess it makes a pleasant change from reading about Johnson's latest antics or Trump's potential election as President of the United States. Even so, I couldn't really see the problem, although I was supposed to be shocked when the article declared that a recent survey revealed that around 9,000 fax machines are in use across England, with the Newcastle upon Tyne Health Authority being the worst culprit with around 600 machines in daily use. Such horror. I guess the reader was supposed to read between the lines that patients are at risk because of the use of this outdated technology, and of course the opportunity was used as usual to blame the funding crisis for the problem. "This is ludicrous," screamed one surgeon. "The NHS cannot rely on technology that most other organisations scrapped in the early 2000s. Clearly, this esteemed surgeon has little knowledge of life in Spain, where the humble fax machine is still used and revered by most hospitals, surgeries, banks, local authorities and businesses. When we moved to Spain, we were given several pieces of helpful advice from those who'd gone before. One of those pieces of advice was to buy a fax machine, or at least to make sure that we had ready access to one. This piece of advice was invaluable and is still highly relevant. Over the last few months, I recall several occasions when I've been asked to fax a document to a bank, the customs office, or local authority department. Indeed, my new mobile phone operator asked for a copy of my residency document to be faxed to them only the other day. Fax machines in Spain are still heavily used, valued, and trusted. This is not to say that emailing documents is not possible. In most cases it is, but the Spanish have an ongoing love affair with paper, and the fax machine fits the bill nicely. The Spanish love affair with paper is to blame, of course. Despite the wonders of modern technology, the country still relies heavily upon paper records. I was recently persuaded to change my credit card, which I thought would be a simple process, since it was to be issued by the same bank branch that I've used for many years. The process was indeed simple, and all I had to do was to provide an electronic signature. I made a comment to the bank clerk that this was so much easier than on previous occasions when I'd left the bank with a handful of paper. He smiled knowingly, if not wickedly, and wandered over to his combined fax printer, which was busily churning out continuous streams of paper. He gathered a handful and asked me to initial the 15 pages before stamping each sheet with a momentary glint of pleasure and passing them to me. So much for the use of technology, I thought, as I left the bank clutching yet another handful of paper. Some things just never change over here. In Spain, the fax machine does fit seamlessly into the love of paper that nothing else can replace. What can be more pleasurable than stuffing an important document into one machine and pressing a button for it to appear out of another fax machine some distance away, as if by magic? I have to admit, I also still rather enjoy the process and find it more reliable than battling with emails that may or may not be sent, or sorting out a computer virus or whatever else should infect my laptop. A fax machine works, not just as long as you load it up with paper and remember to top it up with ink, and, of course, speak to it kindly. Yes, I know it may jam occasionally, but we're not after perfection, are we? Do I still use a fax machine? Well, yes and no. Our old fax machine died long ago, and I now use an app on my smartphone that does the job rather nicely. However, I must admit that I do miss the physical process of sending and receiving a fax, knowing that it had been sent and receiving an automatic confirmation of receipt. What's not to like? So, to those who bore us senseless about the digital revolution and criticise the NHS for not scrapping their fax machines, I suggest the old adage that if it's not broke, don't fix it may be relevant here. Many hospitals and GP surgeries may be quite content with this outdated technology. Maybe, just maybe, it offers the security and reliability that emails, WhatsApp and Snapchat and all the others cannot provide. Oh, by the way, did I mention that the NHS is also being criticised for using that most antiquated of technologies, known as pagers? You have been listening to We Love Fax Machines by Barrie Mahoney. This article is part of the Letters from the Atlantic series, and you can find out more about me, my podcasts, books and blogs by going to my website, www.barriemahoney.com, and that is Barrie with an IE. And thank you for listening.